As promised, this is part 2 of my Object ID Manager tool. It's going to be how to use the tool to export material colors to substance. The idea is that we're going to mask different materials in our high poly model to bake onto our low poly model. So this is my low poly model. Not really interested in setting material IDs on this object because it's not relevant. It's just all going to be on the same texture page. We do just want UV coordinates on this. This is my high poly model. And you can see this will be mirrored, so I've got some extra mesh in here just to help you guys understand what it's going to look like finally, but actually we're just going to export all this lot. So initially I could just grab all the objects like this and make all those selected objects have unique colors like this. That'll give us, because there is 69 objects, so that gives us 69 different colors to bake in substance. And you can work like this, that would be fine. It would involve a lot of picking, but we could just go and assign masks to mask out similar kinds of materials. So for example, this object here and the trousers, they're both going to be made out of some sort of techie cyberpunk leather. So we can just assign, say, find next 3ID, which is 70. Let's assign a material ID 70 to those guys, and it'll make the same color. Then we can say make these gloves, and these trousers the same as going find next 3ID, which is 32. Set that ID to those, and it makes them the same color too. There's a little report being generated every time I do things. Every time I find the next 3ID, it will generate this little line in the MaxScript listener. So it's telling me that these are the IDs that are used in the scene. So we have 2 to 47 used, 48 and 48, 49 are missing, and then 50 to 70 are used as well. And that's kind of it. We just select objects, find the next 3ID, select the objects we want to assign it to, like all these skirts. Bits can have the same ID. Assign that to selected, find the next 3ID, which is 48. And we'll assign that to this bit. Find next 3ID, it's going to be 5. Assign it to this bit. Like that. Now, at the moment, there are no materials assigned on this object. And I'll just check that by selecting all these guys, and we'll just clear any possible materials on that object. So all we're seeing here on this object is the wire color. If we go to wireframe, you see what I mean. Oops. That's the wireframe color. If I was to assign a material to it, the color of the material will override the wire color depending on the display settings. So you can see at the moment object color and material color are the same, but what we're going to do now is assign some materials to it. So I've got various material tools here for creating material color, and that's what substance will pick up, will be the actual material color. So let's have a go. Oops. I'll just try to select everything, and we can make everything a unique color. So that's assigned a unique color to all these objects. The material ID is still working underneath, so if I swap between the object color and the material color, you can see what's going on. But as I've gone to the effort of assigning all these material IDs to the object, that's what I want to use on my mesh to export to substance. So I'm simply going to select all these objects and do create material by the selected IDs. Now you'll see that the wire color and the material color are the same. This has now a standard material assigned to it. So if I go into our material editor here, you can see that it's automatically assigned a material to the object. It's a standard material with the color blue, and you can see it's standard 48, which is just basically meaning that it's taken the material color from ID 48 and assigned it to this object. So this is great for assigning single material colors to single objects, but if you want multiple material colors on the same object, then you have to use a multi-material, and I've got a slightly different workload for that. So on my mesh, we have these little cyber button things, which I'm just going to select. And the idea is that this ring will glow. So we have two different material IDs on the object, one for the main material and another one for the rings, which are going to glow, and there'll be a separate material in Substance Painter. So I want to make up a quick Frankenstein mat to separate these, and I can do that really easily by using this Substance Multimat tool. So I set the number of materials that I want, which is 2, and I just set that material on the selected objects, like this. And you can see it's made a multimat material with 2 separate colours on it. And if I go into the material editor, oops, let's pick the object first, that one, you can see it there. Doesn't really matter how many material IDs I have, so let's just pick 10 and assign it to selected. So that material's been disconnected, just delete it, pick the new one. So they're all my material ID colours. Oops. And here is the multimat for that. You can see it's labelled. These are all material IDs, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, because the colours are based on these ID numbers, if I've got an ID on here, it's going to have the same colour as an ID one on the objects here. So in this particular case, I can find out that these skirts have an ID colour of 1. There's another way of doing that, so I can just highlight any object which has got an ID of 1. So the actual colour used by these skirts is the same as this object here, which may not be useful in terms of separating things out from masks. So when I press the Find Next Free ID button up here, it's telling me that essentially these are the colours IDs are already used in the scene. So you got 1 to 8, 9 is free, and let's say 49 to 50 are free here. So I can make a new multimat element with 2 IDs in it, and we're going to have it start at ID 49 by setting the offset to 49. And then we're just going to find these elements again. And assign this new multimat to those selected objects, like that. And that neatly separates out the material colours. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to start beta testing this tool very soon. Sean's already agreed to do some beta testing for me. I think the main thing at the moment is just making tutorial videos and documentation, so there's no reason why it couldn't be done very quickly if there's a lot of interest. So let me know what you think in the comments below. There may be some things which could be improved, and hopefully we'll get back with an update soon.